Hello everybody, I'm Avery. This is my channel. And in today's video, what I'm going to be doing is talking about what you can expect if you decide to take a job for the post office as a TTO, which is a tractor trailer operator. I was doing that for only a couple months, but I got, a good gist. I can tell you a good gist of what you should expect being there. So before I get started, let me go ahead and say to subscribe to the channel because I talk about my trucking experiences, and I do think that my trucking experiences could be useful to you. So first off and foremost, what you can expect as a TTO. You're going to get some semi-training. I say it's semi-training, but essentially what you're going to be doing is just backing up to some doors, doing some parallel parking, and then doing some driver's side, not doing the straight back, but doing a little curve from the driver's side. You're not doing any blind side parking within this training. And you can also expect to be doing that for 4 hours straight in a parking lot somewhere or in the back of somebody's warehouse. What else do I need to say about that? You'll also have to do this with every single vehicle that they have that they're going to be having you drive. So in my particular situation, they had 2 box trucks. One was a smaller one was a bigger one. Then they had a single axle semi, double axle, and the yard jockey vehicle. So I had to do it for all 5 vehicles for 4 hours each time. So that's how some of my time went there. Do your 3-month assessment, if I did not say 3-month assessment yet. What that is essentially trial period. You're not really considered a full-time worker until you get past that, in which case, at the end of the 3 months, they'll say whether or not they want to keep you. And the reason for that, after you get past 3 months, it'll be harder for them to get rid of you. So, just be on your P's and Q's for your 3 months. You're not going to get any uniforms. You're not going to get a locker. That comes after 3 months. But the only thing that they'll give you basically is a vest that you'll have to wear, throughout the warehouse. And essentially, you're just not going to take it off while you're working. So there's that. So you'll have that, and you'll have an ID, which, that'll help you get through the gate, and that'll help you get inside the doors, because the doors all are locked except for maybe one, but all the other doors are going to be locked, and they'll have a little scanner right beside it. So when you scan your ID, the door will open. Otherwise, you'll just be knocking on doors until somebody lets you in, because you ain't got your ID. And essentially, nobody's supposed to be letting you in. You ain't got no ID. You ain't supposed to be letting you inside. So there's that. I was in a union, so this might vary for other areas. But essentially, what I had to do was, as a new employee, you can only get up to 44 hours a week, whereas the senior people, they would get at least 48 hours or more if they wanted it. But essentially, it's 8 hours a day, and then it's 6 days a week. It's usually Monday through Friday. Sunday you're off, but Saturday would usually be like a 4-hour period where you come in. Or if they wanted to switch it up essentially and do Friday and Saturday, 2 6-hour days instead of 8 hours and then 4 hours. They do it like that. Upon these 8 hours, you're doing a 30-minute break. You may or may not actually have some extra time to get like a 10-minute break in or a 15-minute break in after that or before it as well, because the way they have their route set up, it's not like a food truck, for example, like QCD, in which case at QCD, which is a food company, food delivery, you're going to be doing like 13 and a half hours. And yeah, you're supposed to take a 30-minute break, but in all honesty, I really don't know any of the drivers there that actually took one, because they honestly didn't have the time. They would actually be at their stop and they'll put themselves on break, but they're delivering the food into the house. They're delivering the food into the store because, otherwise you're going to go over 14 hours. But you don't have to worry about that at the post office. with your 3-month assessment, you won't be on a particular route. You're usually taking it up for somebody else's route, or you just end up, they just mix and match you wherever they need you. So let's say this month or this week, I'm taking one person's route and they have a route that starts at like 5 o'clock in the morning. But next week I gotta take somebody else's route who's out, and they route starts at midnight. You're just going to have to keep doing that. And then there's times, this is another time that I've had a work week where I was going in at 5 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock, then 4 o'clock in the morning, then midnight. So that's something else that you gotta, be ready for. The place I was at, they had some very old trucks, but they did at least have mechanics at that site. So if anything was to break down, then you could just go over and then tell them, hey, this is what's wrong. So can you check it out? They also had fuel there, so you didn't have to go to any fuel stations. You have to go like Pilot or something to refuel. You always refuel at the end of your work day as well. So you didn't have to ever worry about trucks being empty in the morning. In the East Coast, I started off at about 2250, 2270, something like that. It went up to topping out at about $29 and some change. And that was over the process of about either 5 to 7 years. So that's a long time for me, but might not be that long for you. If you worked at night, you would get extra $1, and if you worked on Sundays, you would get extra $2. So it was either extra $2 or it's extra $4. I can't, confirm on that, but it was at least extra $2 on Sunday. So you can get anywhere from $3 to $5 on Sunday. So a lot of people, those routes were pretty much always taken. I mean, I couldn't never take it because I was in a 3-month assessment period. So there you go. Now, let me go ahead and talk about an actual day as a truck driver, right? So I'll come in at like 5 o'clock, punch in your time card. By the way, anything after 5 minutes is considered not just late, but you consider that you didn't even show up. So keep that in mind, because that can also, they can fire you for that on the spot as well. So keep that in mind once again. But after you come in, punch your time card, go get your scanner, go get your phone as well, because they give you a phone. And then you want to put in your scanner, you're gonna put in your route for the day. Then after that, go do your pre-trip on whatever truck they got you in. And then you want to go ahead and hook up to the trailer. Your trailer will already be at the door that you're supposed to be at, because the particular mail that's going to whatever area, whatever zip code or whatever city, they'll have the exact door that it's supposed to go to. So if I'm going to Norfolk, for example, that'll be in door 1. Virginia Beach should be in door 2, etc., etc. So hook up to your door. So you're putting all the racks into the trailer, but you're also waiting to see if any other mail is going to be finished, so you can put that on your trailer until 5:30. Then when 5:30 comes, the managers will go ahead and say, everybody go ahead and go. And then you go ahead and go to your first stop, in which case, this particular situation, nobody's at the post office that I'm going to. So I would go ahead and open up the door with a key. I'll use my scanner and scan the back of the door, because it should have a scan code up there. And that scan code will let the, paperwork, computers or whatever, know that I arrived at what time. And then I would scan it again when I'm about to leave. So, people will know what time I'm leaving. So you would do that, deliver all the mail. Then if there was any empties there, you would take the empty racks with you, go back to the main terminal. Any empty racks, you will put them in a specific spot, but then you will go to the next door that you're supposed to be at to pick up your next mail. It might be right then and there, or you might be waiting a couple minutes. to get your next amount of mail to take out to the next spot. But you were basically rinse and repeat until your day is up. Sometimes you would have some special mail, in which case you would have to go to an office in the warehouse and then sign for it before you could actually take it with you. And then you would have to get the person, the manager at the post office that you're going to, they would have to sign off for it on your paperwork. They would take one piece, you would keep one piece, or you would take two pieces, you would send one back with you, but you would also keep one for yourself just in case that package ever got lost. You can essentially make sure that if anybody was to ask you, hey, did you make sure that you dropped this package off, you can have proof that you signed, that you got the people to sign for that package. So there's that as well. But essentially, like I said, man, that's gonna be your full day. Like I said, you always got to stay on your P's and Q's. You're going to have to cock your wheels even when you're not in the doors, because people be, they be looking around and stuff. I got a call one time basically saying I forgot to cock my wheels. I wasn't in the door, but I forgot to cock the wheels. So the person let me know, and I didn't get written up for it, but you can. Not supposed to be on your phone, because that's an automatic, not on your phone while you're driving, because that's an automatic, you're gone. Like I said, you got to have your vest on at all times, otherwise you can get written up for that. And then essentially, you got to make sure your uniform or whatever you got on through your 3-month assessment, you got to make sure that's neat, because they can write you up for that. And yeah, just go in there and be professional and all that good stuff, man. And that's it. So with that being said, hopefully that answered some questions that you had. And if it didn't, then feel free to leave me a comment explaining what your question is, and I'll try to answer it. So there you go. Hopefully, so once again, hopefully this was useful to you. And if it was, why don't you go ahead, like, subscribe, share with a friend, click the bell notification so you can get more information about trucking later. And I'll be coming back later very soon. Thanks for watching.